Contention one is global crime, community information pushed by U.S. fans for immunity from operating police classification, removes U.S. opposition commitment to ICC to prosecute operating national for 21. Number six, also the jurisdiction of the global crime related by state to the death and honor of non-state party state, who's all that of the legal system of the ICC, involved in the interpretation of U.S. for the party, the argument about immunity based in the possession of the other party, the one who holds the situation as everything, is indivisible to the use of a party, the interpretation of historical footnote. Ratification is an international signal of the U.S. character of justice, which determines the colonial aggressors within 21. I think like the world will get us to the levels of the our empire raising aggressive the level for the US the next year and all level of less far as aggression is your side of the world is ignore the Military like brought is very is the comical moment and the comical and contention two is U.S. crimes as ratification both domestic, international, and prosecuting policy to the direction of war crimes. That was the theme. Leaders should be so effectively here and over the next year, the liability also that you get right when you write about the international speaking of the name of the publishing the title of the world leader of the United States of America, the power rights to the victim that the years ago, leading your level of it's also like your government and also the corporations, the policy conditions in the time below and it was over like freedom of information was making alternative influence related to send a positive relationship between ratification and reduced delays of Jones and 16. Research is ratification reduced intentional delays by ratification by 100 will be like the secret to future bringing the Bible title or recording most of these for those who reduce the from reducing the point is one of the ratification but one rate and one rate or reduce the way to 6 every time that I see has a full tactics and I see prosecution of Trump is key bypasses pardons and imposes mass cost for 121. Trump records also to the ICC to award industrial charges the president top weeks into the church as members of advisory rights of administration of water and U.S. commits war crimes that kill thousands and displace even more in 2022. U.S. right international law probably violation of right law enforcement not to be the right to life, the right to life, use of involved in the Foreign Center of Community Law, looking very more with blood that to Portuguese and free, otherwise the pretty by remain revenue for the over to the legal law to criteria have taken extend another version and the accountability for the months to be over my zero from space humanitarian this is a of human rights violation got disaster ready for the disaster of 17. A road that makes it needs to be more well than the American security and security. In case always to decide match C22. Everything works with both sides of the better responsibility, those and the game one to beginning to report it as an obligation, but it is from the avoiding the right company and plan. The United States also according to the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, Rome makes active legislation ICAD. To vote for the legislation, I was something for ICAD 1998. First of all, there's a number of things the official for the case of the vote and able to be United in Turkey's West Coast FNC, who will give you job. You serve the rest of the response from the for example, range just international law, something, but with the law can be all framed. The standards writing is also described. One, we did situation to prevent them. Women 10. The decision feature country community rights for preparing the land and knowledge of all the country community and all the murder cases to pay to travel change all the major every people are legal to information and all the community language laws and then we all humans. Two compound probability, multi probabilities of all maintaining the deck that probability is slippery slope passes also impulse from the direction of low probability so they can't get to making 3 except for synapses and power impulse at that point is each humanity which is 21. If you have the problem, you are able to write this video of the process of the animal that it was one to go on which is also kind of no problem, they can more more than yes. And our level is the city how much on the performance and like playing on certain staying over the games of the that's the issue makes it something the possible organization of some sentences for the national public to percent of the meters, but that was not trackable for decision made like every course of action and action the possibility of conversation that makes problems and gratitude and possible because we connected all that in 17. If any measure of any problem between the office and the better relevant than the committee to these making more than the board said, which is something to have about the city council helps out the book on the use for the community arrange to the province of representatives and the way on which is in the racial culture picture about the city conflict, this is the rest of the taking part in the probably the necessity of position of council fair. 5. Complexity. The set presents the simplicity and fails to count the mirror and manufacture. They construct a virtually change of the disabled before the recommended name of the and change course. Skip the evidence. 7. Paul Fingers is probably high magnitude the department advises emotional responses to 0 plus failure and loss availability of manipulated as the big bad catch-up position 3. Availability of nursing and revenue nursing and nursing allowance to be on the and all the people that are doing some of our problems with another as you know, around so much people say until the way question and probably reaction people goes about it rather than likely. Go back up to lead. 12 operation probably did a possible measure actually had a huge effect on effective value making back 92 first value was for decision making in 15. Has a way to problem the kind of solution to place arguments in policy and appraisal position was probably value of the data maybe what the knowledge very good to took out 100 last year's also indicated that you say your practice one of your life is being exposed before the indicated affected 100% of the nation and the opposite also the work you did kind of distinctions. Okay.
That it assumes about like that assumes and says US would follow ICC post ratification. Or do you have the evidence that is so strong that assumes Trump?
Yeah, the raw evidence says that Trump's pardon power now extends to the ICC and that there is no bar on the ICC prosecuting a sitting president.
Wait, it's the pardon power doesn't like doesn't say that they would be able to
what?
Like it doesn't say that they would be able to arrest or take the trial arrest.
I don't know why we need evidence that says that ICC will fall.
Why would Trump align with ICC rules given his whole American first IOS stance?
We align with the rules.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, we have 2 pieces of evidence. First is the Apple evidence. It gives 3 warrants. First is domestic costs. It says that Trump and leaders need to advance their policy agenda, but if they're no longer domestically popular because they are globally known as a war criminal, then they can no longer advance their policy agenda. Second is international costs. Third parties will impose sanctions or reduce cooperation with nations who have been recognized as war criminals or violating the ICC. Third is prosecution costs. Trump will no longer be able to travel to a member state, which imposes on his ability to engage in diplomacy and go on vacation. And then the Joe and Simmons evidence says that statistics reveal a positive relationship between ratification and reduced killings. It says that if 100 were to be killed by not being in the ICC, 53 would be killed being in the ICC. That's a big difference.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have any evidence? Do you have any evidence that the ICC would actually issue a response for Trump?
You've already asked this. I don't know that, and I don't know. I don't think I
Wait,
that at all.
Wait, why don't you?
I don't know why I mean this evidence says that ICC can bring Trump to the court. That's like we've read evidence to why being a member state means that they will stop committing those crimes. And then we've read evidence to capture the Trump that says that it would be able to prosecute him.
Okay, that's rating section, what is the atrocity?
Sure, the ICC defines atrocities as crimes against humanity, war crimes, genocide, and ethnic cleansings. War crimes, crimes against humanity, genocide.
Extinction and atrocity.
What?
Extinction and atrocity.
Yeah, the death penalty will probably be an atrocity. We made indicts to your framing of that.
If war crime atrocities happen in war, do you have an obligation to stop them?
What?
If war crime atrocities happen in war, do you have an obligation to stop them?
You have an obligation to prevent war crimes.
If they happen in war, do you have an obligation to stop them?
Well, it's a consideration if not going, well, okay, first of all, how we get to the war is a question of probability magnitude, which we can debate. Second is that you would have to weigh the cost of going to war and the war crimes that would occur and the magnitude of those war crimes versus the war crimes that would happen if we decide.
Not. Six is. Is secretary then is.
I don't think you want.
Oh. Yes. Yeah. Diciamo che non lo sa, non lo va a quando la regista non si sta scrivendo, e dici che non vuoi organizzare one time as maybe sono si chiama la vicina sono per because did not have that see che da si dove non sono open knowledge did not get the sort of job that is well generally you do say the name instead of first the knowledge of all this new guys organized all religion I remember this to have the just so much as you hearing some first from the savage tradition but I actually needed having the some shit up into the putting up but already see this right here so it's just still how you possibly see which are inclusive relationship the first guy the boss and we're talking about you guys take my resume you're at some joint I see over the prosecution goes like should be something to handle it's supposed to have this thing that and then just like that as you guys see it's getting into the strong and she joined with you she and then she cracks down and she's looking for the cause of the US made the evidence it's US law those swim it which one gets I see you say US law no he is clearly see that any of it's wrong for I see US law made the evidence whether that constitutes the argument as search or is the grounds which is working that trying to be usually the events it's like the area is because you believe this is then you separate I really give us lots there were small situations that like hey and you guys want to go over it which is probably more senior you might say that's what she's going to be what she's talking about it's done we should also the should sort that she should next time I'm going to stay in those days 16 and possibility position gets position we can't see excuses when she's trying to respond to the nature of some guys which want to know as versions then you must do you know what you're doing on these things are possible for the one that it was and you have substitute just 23 years don't come is good after she's having but still is key next on the favor US specific for custody opinion remember the obsession of the international protocol the office of the council should not be advised executive powers to part of the obsession of the international protocol that is also accountable for the transparency on the site. Also, don't be placing the country of regards to the lines of the study on the of law, from the university because we're going to sorry, tax, etc. As it was also only about the observation, institution, version of the awareness of the city street, figure out the presentation, also that was available and also we have numbers for the option to say national values. Will be what from 68. Lawyer of the nation, national was really that is over. There's no use of the most for the national lawyers to be on international litigation. Now, the other issues of nothing about this question on that exception with the moral shooting for all the right and polish. We should never know that special should be found some of the jealous president and also when you know it. Three issues of our crisis that we lose the action. Also, it's not for also the executive answers and questions. So, it's all the time. Also, it's not what is going on. Secretary was also not really raised the so there was always the argument decision number especially become very aggressive for their time. After seeing over you can find you very right. Was always remember the shooting considering strong legislation around the United is indivisible other agencies and some discipline this is the good then graduation with should allow its best lands in the mythology and possible if you have a short grace and Christian so these are like some ideas and repetitive so yes technology so the kind of actually the worst of these right to play and that was what this is I'll go to it so that's very good try okay we should do it and let's see I guess I wish you would see about it but you can see the check I guess this is there are So you guys actually see it. So we should be charging. We should jump on until you are huge. I was not sure. We just obviously started setting down. I see you trying. I don't want to see because one of these times I don't think you should use your question. I was about to be there. I asked him so we want to have that. What's that thing is she got in the trade because from your own pattern is come storage. She passed through the guys from the back. She got passed through the very much. That's back like a word like we're going. He's not going to know that the better. No, just some your search opportunity has some moments and he's not always there. Some sort of investigate, they don't sort of think the app works for like just one by some long term space. That's all you want. It's just give those you can buy every intuition, you can like somebody else on CP, of course, this is just running nice stuff, then you know, taking about the position. We have the LGMC, so it's version of G, where it's supposed to be good, it's over to be very hard to pass. How to do these hard, but also there is some of the serious for CG. That was it. Shares and technology to the public carpentry is in potential, but to the work and others and all those acceptable policy. We watching the basic conversation, the basic conversation, but the groups from also responsibility to the environment, getting to the responsibility that you're explaining. We win with the wall stalls and trusted them to win all customers. We need to we prepare for trustees already made all the results trustees very current regime. War of the specific terms of the parties to was translated in the actually and the one of those regions, but not only to what you get, or the region that's only not to the traditional or we lost one to no institutions, hard time, or response to say that we have institutions, some just needed in the institution, not all and other doing the residency, taking a road or city, and to be very after this was what we walk on and I don't know to add and I don't know what's in the institution that I said I give it on about this but we can go to the signature. We can actually let them sense the knowledge of the vibration that she wants to do guys as well right. There's no pursuit after the training where access and possibilities and rules possible. I don't think it's really interesting that it touches the experience to be and just can't actually suspect positive should be used. Let's say the staff they just use just many terms that they rely on top of that knowledge talk, which is way lower probably than the perception that people put in more. There's a we don't know what forget for us, join this is not like it's good that 20 dollars in the server yard has to be really appreciated for all this stuff. No time or that's not going to change so some of the mention of this is all measures of you know just like that each level benefits about sure this very capture this is stuff the world on these consider it's like sure this sharing the sure coming to the general without sufficient events we have to be about sushi but never in real life the judge always position on such that it's bad it's your shot to my life you know framing domestic cost volunteer street they just get special long term everything proves that he's done this and travel as well he'll just do it anyways proven that in Ruben kind of Putin so I see will not be prosecuted 622 I said what situation say the same as you did this however the most of the measures actually I think the same as you I should just tell me for this very little bit of this original but I don't think others about some of the future but I'm going to the message so the direct and starting to change the Portuguese history I still listen to the relationship with the German that's sure no it's just performance here separately for social it says that's a story for not sure I see it's public of the US I see the process to the heads of the students other process to the on my see every single student there's the process please right that's the right
They're not signatories?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Good?
Yeah.
Status for everything? Any reasons not to decide to choose jobs? Okay, framing page, counterfactual is all with the counterfactual.
Yeah, it's like looking back in the past, using that to predict things.
Why did that stop decision? Why did that prevent decision gridlock?
Because we know what things are going to see, they cause this issue. We can look at past, use things like induction.
Why-
That.
We're not in an induction, we said.
I know, but it's a very similar argument. Your argument is kind of like there's an infinite amount of extinction, it causes decision paralysis, etc. My argument is that not that like if you're not indicting induction, my argument is we use induction, we can look on the past.
We've never,
and
okay.
what
So
scenarios.
it's consideration of probability good.
Oh.
That's fine. The counter plan,
Yeah, probability.
the OL, okay, wait, can I ask the next question? The OLC counter plan?
Yeah.
Where do you think these counter plans reacts the app? Or the results of the app?
I mean, it says publicly advised executive powers, but why it's.
Where have you read evidence that they will listen?
It's first, or,
Okay, where is evidence that say that they will listen?
and like. Obviously, the OLC recommends it.
Obviously, if they recommended, they'll listen to it.
It says it's the gold standard for independent professional legal advice.
but, okay, but like Trump hates the ICC, Congress hates the
You
ICC.
literally just said that Trump would list ICC
Bro,
as laws.
you've read a link on politics for why they don't like it, and then why would
I
you?
said Congress doesn't like it. I'm really.
And you said you have to propose it to Congress and they have to say yes.
I don't think it's-
Yeah, publicly advise the executive and Congress.
Oh, yeah, I guess, but I think the executive would still do it.
Alright, cool.
And they're
Thanks,
looking
thanks,
for
okay.
it.
The laser just said, why are, okay, so the first card says that it bans blinding laser weapons, why do you need laser weapons that blind people?
It's using blinding as an adjective. They ban laser weapons. Like, there's no way you're gonna read a card that says the definition of the word blinding.
The reason it's banned is because they're blinding, the way that they blind people is bad. Where have you read blinding weapons?
Okay, the teller card says that we use quote high energy laser weapons.
Why is that, why are they gonna blind people?
Okay, obviously those two things apply. We use laser weapons. What is the purpose of a laser weapon?
Alright, cool, TRA. So what does the TRA give, what kind of role does TRA give to Congress?
It's Congress.
Like, what does it give congressional power related to?
I don't think TRA is Congress. Like the actual bill itself is not.
But it's, you said it's all congressional power.
Yeah, yes.
So what happens,
Yes,
what power does it give them?
it doesn't give them power, it restores power that has been lost.
Okay, I'm not how.
What do you mean how? The whole point is that Trump is unilaterally doing these things, Congress reasserts its authority by doing this.
I don't know. Okay, they were not.
I'm still not good, sorry. Why are we prepping?
Oh, I'm just back for you.
That's prep.
Okay.
Probably one Excel personality is found an impossible data point. They're trying to calculate something that has never happened. We don't even know it's possible. And it's such a low probability that Canadian estimated bricks, drop, wood, stew, decision gridlock. Every action could cause extinction. So actually, the probability that could be impossible. Now, the line of that, they say wars and atrocities, wars and atrocities, they had the way that they get to war. They drop the turn and the decision rights violation, is allowed to address national security risks. And even if it is, they've not in an hour impact to be at least an hour impact equal to there. They say we must set center except the risk and proposed bill one. They say go to gridlock. Infinity time to build a cell number still infinity suggests gridlock. And they said just many to release nodes 1 card versus 10 card issue. It is that, and I'm not going to the chair side, it's not a turn. Attention. Ratification ensures that the U.S. may prosecute which avoids domestic. Actually, remove humanity determination instead of international law that ensures aggression globally. I'm not going for the U.S. crimes portion of the U.S. crimes convention, rather the global crimes convention. They said this have enforcement with something that applies literally immunity information solves literally all of this, and then character recently proves that it is efficient. T and O. Counter-information and or we normal representative abuse to give two words together individually. The evidence is precise when state case for or 1 hour depth. There are they have to be 2, 3, and 1 is the truth or depth. And again, 2, 3, 2 reasonable anything else about structure generally raise the law for the clarification. T-bot. One, we IBM earlier today. 2, kind of information I don't have 2 body resolution. Certainly, they need to extend research this week. So kind of informative advocacy runs access to terms like mandatory school community service with inclusion article with research which is insincere for and my slash we side of AU that can engage both real action to advance the action and negative versus also proves that it's the opposite for goal 5 on verifiable for life which is bad also condition very mindful with control advocacy here. One for the vote, kind of place looking at all the individual decisions involved in paragraph. If you have a break, the negative can't be a negative action. Just like kind of plan should be should go to war, do the aspect. 25, 2 more path looking 25. The proposal line will take me law speaker job as a consider everything and not the trumpet the appearance of said earlier in the video of change of video 2 more from 24 the legislative about national word in narrow 34 or under Trump we see as an example of anything once read about 25. Articles of the federal military that's why the Trump cut and how many to Trump 5 points to one. We should take that following back the plan. It's how the plan has without any doing liability. Interlinked the area only retrieve the door up to the tariff. They're talking about broad executive appropriations to build and solve insert green in their evidence. And 7, 8 should mention the new was 2 different organizations that are related. One, not recognizing something that we're using that we'll continue to use it now to know like they're only blinding ones. That reason why that's key. Doing something death now for stopping no release storage is just one of the things that helps it for no release storage. I like that no release storage. One role means the fiat also like the Hague agent. It says access available because we're not part of the access penalty to change that Hague agent act. Oh, two. It's not applicable to international law treaty right upon party only U.S. is not a party. And ICE members not retaliating against the court and also research for the region as one evidence in turn. The detective of threat of HIA in the future be allowed to get out of shock picture. 54. Come down the lines of data security or County, USA for evidence decision begin American corporation the search of their video for Trump and the president of the U.S. American criminal distribution only part of the world as well as will be enduring 3 no more even to last 5 billion 21 people in the world and China everything in New Zealand and international environment we have in the Republic of the federal university that it's the government here the source as the world the US strong. 1 from the ocean link, 2 from the capital, 3 from the operation capital to the function better and else couple of the more than 1 research that have limited and the benefits limited it gives that first insert level when rules firm this plan to capital is over the include the capital for the capital steps limited and the capital to justify the plan the side can't solve matrix law never has to be able to the OLP policy link proof say up.
Yeah, the T shells. The TRATA. The laser TA. The hate invasion TA. Then like some framing stuff, the framing gauge. Then, then I think I plans that beyond the decision after that. Then, sit down plan. And then case like ten.
TRA, lasers, Netherlands, framing. The rotor,
And
and
then
power plants,
I've done decision.
maintain.
I feel like I wasn't in decision. Then sort of framing, then OLC.
So TM. Politics, TRA later lasers, prosecutions, OLC case, OLC case again.
I think the Cowboys and the other decision was on the, well, technically it was on the TR page.
Okay.
So if you want to.
Yeah, on TR, okay,
Okay, so yeah, it's like that's.
TR is there. Yeah. I just couldn't hear what the voting issue was, and I only listened to pages, and you said counter.
Then also, yeah.
Now I get it, you're fine.
Wait, sorry, wait.
Because there was no organized system in terms of the team, other than campus presentation, you're not going for it, and this is logical, you know, in criteria, I would see that he also has something to there's no speech on this page, which means even it doesn't go to, it goes to the listen to the converse slightly positive about it, since bringing us straight to an innovation of the eyes or dead, and we saw, or sorry, the lasers, TA, I can see during that, when we sort of hate the eyes are dead, and all these and solve locations, and draw, it's kind of like the presentation, that doesn't matter what the argument, words, it's not saying the entirety of the match, there's no reason for number two job, no one in 200 use 200 possible courses that we did for 10 was facing the economic substance was in terms of we have to solve and that was in the one and was draw framing issue. The framing started if we win the Carolina itself that could itself case does not matter, they've not made a claim that execution is good. To the there invest no waste in Carolina itself case and I win first by offense. Carolina as Trump progresses the opinion over we are encouraged the ICC and makes almost hopefully vice president and Congress right the street that solves all state advice becomes legal obligation forces government compliant restores all states support center and lobbying improve transparency and the decision making process by signaling Congress to the public at the basis design, executive action, has to be a company policy design, and failure in research conflict otherwise which is and deals reduces conflict between executive Congress and public perception making. In your estimation of a multiple words term is zero. It makes no sense. They said do the plan and the counter plan when the counter plan results in the plan that requires doing the counter plan because you have not done the counter plan, then how can the counter plan results in the plan? I do not understand this. It's also interesting that as a function of conditioning the counter plan on resulting in the plan which is not beyond it, which I would say is bad below. Also, there's no text for no way that I can debate it because I do not know what the presentation actually does. And especially because the wording of it was so incoherent to me, no sense. The chair has a new spin on any of these presentations that I saw, just like in the one area which is scratched off for Bruins still over one section it will receive this precedent passing the plan, and they'll see advises discusses more change source sections that's code to accountability, conflict strategic decisions to investment holdings and given policy making, research, question of transparency, separation, hours, and accountability factors are on the actually they have the ability to oversee the activities, numbers, ability, account, ability, identifies the basis of power, making us free, transparent, the terms of general data outcomes, and themselves, also policy structure, and all action points, greater leverage, 3 post-hoc rationalization, that's 26, the GDC, green content, 19, LC, this is probably sort of with our hit, the legal post-hoc rationalization, showing the basis of power, and the legal line, and then the vice formal, also being consulted, that's like the fall, or no else is officially, or to attorney, also capture our office, probably your test option, rational, rationally, must take the partial opinions, to Kevin is 0 rate is severance, and when she would get clash to Kevin, but gets land said, it's also all the executive to enact that solving whether the body is upstanding, solvency question of the effect bringing this kind of legislation community state because of federal fall under international because of the US model, which destroys negative ground, because any action that potentially result in the plan is not I just think about it, if they were this kind of reacting, but negative on Tom Cali, anything else place, non-binding ratification that shifts out of every single negative disadvantage devastating ground independently. The United States means 3 branches, which means resolution mandates, we go beyond actors as Miller independently, also permanent Kevin. We're literally just 6 words, permanent vote, permanent Kevin in 1 year, 0 warranty, the 2 will definitely change this and you structure off the flow. Now, the only argument you go for is Congress as the executive is the top level for an issue. The factor of the counterplan is the president, as the president consulted. Why would the president reject the decision of the consultation if the president is the one asking for it in the first place? I know that means that the fiat, the counterplan's mandate justifies the president actually following the logic it's the one they asked for in the first place. Independently, I also can see that Republicans, quote, will do anything that Trump wants from the TRA page, which means all I have to wait is that Trump doesn't need to compel. Trump put up with one Biden is our evidence assumes Trump and says that he's the reason why it was sort of how his TWO is. It specifically cites Trump too, bidirectionality with Trump. He might have waited unconstitutional procedural law. He also circumvent the plan, especially when it's a treaty that the entire Republican government opposes. Trump cuts both ways. Constitutionality is legally binding with an Article 2 authority versus 13. The whole state license significant and real intervention arguments authority for the constitutionality right SOP to binding determination of the law based on authority of the Attorney General the Department of Justice on the argument to power of the President, determination issued by the President, have particular way to be taken Attorney General, this responsibility transferability, determinations of treatment final and necessary become the executive determination for status. Trump failed to overcome the court day after 20. Trump and 19% is having for the years of reverse Trump's charges time and pure checks and balances are still in place to 24. Trump will not proceed on checking will use tools including the solution to the regulation needs attack, but the German police agency or emergency agency regulation for child registration 115 or as 22% 6 of 19 and 2 pieces of work will get Trump or agency to action for such a NDCA or DACA block the citizenship question Trump and people hit the message Trump in the court 2 times even before Trump was judges. Now other issues permutation is intrinsic cannot only be plan nothing more. There was no warrant in war, no justification for limited interest in the one. There was very limiting in the city to suggest Germany this. I don't know what this means and where this warrant is, which means we are not over this argument independently. It must be functionally vetted. And this was a preemptive in the one and see and not answered. The city is too high for the encourages sport pieces since there's no unified data from ask one shot return on people ask the process to convenience for while in the economy shop that process forces mechanism advantages and the pieces right deficit that severs the functional limit and turns Germany is encouraging specificity or negative the neck is reactionary act is not ask side when you raise the merchants making their determination completely untenable independently one surrounding firms they can jumble up the words and letters from doing acts that feel that benefits that the most extreme versions they won't change the concept which may be negative and possible. Number two, plans for the street debts or context publishing rewards up to they plan right to general plan with words like funding only and aids solve for things like oil and politics that independently makes these a moving target destroying the assessing and discouraging reconstruct the exact names of the plan independently does not solve transparency. If I win this, even if it's theoretically valid, doesn't matter because the British does not solve one vagueness concept 3D. The different concepts of a vague standard like compared rights to legitimate practical concerns, especially consistent with also disorder. If it was the more in very motivated trying to be elements. The other issues from topics they've not specified other issues, so it is vague to redness. After application is not just to Bible. 0 under our jurisdiction for the actual already uses much research from this justifiability case specific to judicial proceedings. And it's also that functional severance firms can achieve athletics but add several words that not create operational changes, which prevents testing limited interest in such checks. You can really not the word counterplay. Yeah.
Kid makes it instead of 100, the plan prevents global crime against humanity and atrocity because it improves the immunity which and sends the international to the global community that we care about justice, which prevents global crimes. Freedom. The standards running atrocity crimes, we question about what we prioritize under utility accountability comes first. This take on the net benefit because extinction now risk analysis is impossible. We're estimating to be don't know if it's possible. Has ever happened, only happened once. Therefore, this analysis is illegitimate to start with, which may be considered acceptable if their argument confirm probable impacts. Even Boston had considered levels of uncertainty when arguing that extinction outweighs. We should take it with a grain of salt because their selection by standard on reliability and small sample sizes. You know it's bad when figurehead observer doesn't believe it, which at least lowers the benefit. Around the counterplan of something else is the plan and there's the process of the counterplan over joining the international court, which is the ICJ. That solves that benefit because there are no more provides meeting over the plan is key. They have the counterplan technically and mostly competitive one research and one allows delay. Now one console condition, etc. Those all make debate devolve into a background check with 200 cycles the same box every year like kills out because those counterplans steal the app and there are no deficits against doing the app in a week. Against doing the app in a week. The other issues perfectly independently good for real world decision making, policy decisions or complex. The app plan and the egg counterplan may also have positive and negative effects. But it's impossible to definitively say which one is better by loving and taking verification. We can debate and reflect this reality. They said no justification. Yes, there was. They said Neg Brown. Neg Brown is wrong. One, they said they get politics and pluralism pay. They get politics and pluralism pay. Constitution, they said. Drones, they said. Power creation, they said. Impact turns. 2, non-positive counterplans. The better counterplans are OP and solve every app because there are many trees and many ways to solve advantages. 3, we don't get rid of all cost counterplans. Cost counterplans aren't germane to the plan. They get stage counterplans or germane if not benefits or counterplans or reason by doing it over the plan is key. They said scramble terms. You don't allow scramble terms. You can rearrange the words in the plan, or you can't rearrange the words in the plan or the counterplan. You can put the entire plan text plus part of the counterplan text. We strike through words, not rearrange them too. And we do allow them now, they are good because the funky thing that the firm does is only solve that benefit, and if it is not germane, that benefit is the opposite. And then that benefit is that the opposite of. They said it rewards that plan rating. What is the impact of this? What is the impact of this? If there's none. They said we dropped the preempt. There was like 7 off, and I didn't get to the preempt, which means you should allow at least 2-hour responses, especially when they have dropped most of our standards. They said it's vague, it's not vague. We're doing the international court, they just not read. Decided again not to read the firm text that we inserted in the document, which is the international court, even if it is somewhat vague, it's also enough for the case got win. Now go to the justice below. It literally did not join the treaty. They had never there's a plan, there's a flaw with the text of the counterplan, and should have put, and then the Senate and the Congress comply with this, and they forgot to. They said the answer is the executive, so we would reject it. No, they never feel that. Trump is not in support of the treaty. Rather, we asked about the advice on the treaty, not that he's in support of it. They said Congress whatever Trump wants. No, he's not saying that he likes it. He's asking for the opinion, which could be to make fun of it or something. They said constitutionality. No, he will just circumvent this. If they do not feel that they have to do it, then he will circumvent it. Senate will circumvent it. Trump will circumvent it. They will not do the plan because the policy plan proves that they hate it. At least the weight of and also the permutation solves the benefit, not the piece that way. Did they?